Welcome to the Super Demo Day. My name is Martin. I'm from the Zircuit team, and it's my great pleasure to both welcome you here and give this opening talk. So I would like to welcome you here by telling you what Zircuit is and what we are doing to attract a huge community of builders, which potentially might be you. So Zircuit is a zero-knowledge rollup, which is fully EVM compatible and does something special around sequencing. So we actually bring AI to our sequencing protocol to detect hacks and prevent them from happening. How we do that is this. Oh, this is a little bit, oh, there we go. So in a regular rollup, when we sequence, we have some service. That service is called sequencer. And the purpose of sequencer is to accept transactions and produce blocks. So it organizes the transactions into a sequence, and whenever it has enough of them, it produces a block, okay? Then this is happening for some time. We also have our L1 that is ticking simultaneously. And as this is happening, whenever we have enough blocks, the rollup itself, it takes the blocks, it takes the state root that represent the state of the rollup, and it rolls it up onto an L1. So this is the typical situation. On Zircuit, we do it a little bit differently. Okay, so our sequencer does a little bit more. The beginning is essentially the same. We have the same flow where the sequencer accepts transactions and it organizes them into a sequence. And whenever it has enough, it should produce a block. But with every single transaction, before we actually put it into a block, we ask a different service of our rollup. We call this different service an oracle. And the sequencer asks the oracle whether the given transaction is safe or whether it's a hack, okay? And if it is a hack, if the transaction is safe, then the flow is exactly the same. That transaction gets placed into the next block. But if it is a hack, then the sequencer says no, we will not place this transaction into a block. We will not let the users of Zircuit get the damage. And instead, we place the transaction into quarantine, where it can be further inspected. And if it truly is a hack, it can just be thrown away. Okay? And the rest of the flow is pretty similar. We just have Zircuit ticking. Every once in a while, we grab the state root, and we roll it up onto an L1. So this is one thing that we do differently, and that is special about Zircuit. Now, for the rest of this talk, let me quickly tell you what we do for builders and how we attract the building community onto our rollup, okay? So this year, we are literally going to almost every single builder-oriented event that exists. We were at ETH Denver, ETH Taipei, Ethereum Zurich, Chain Science, ZK Summit, Southeast Asia Blockchain Week, ETH Bratislava, ETH Prague, ECC, now we are at EDCON, and we still have more coming. We are sponsoring bounties, we are telling people what Zircuit is, and we are inviting them to build, okay? So roughly in March this year, we opened a Builders Incentive Program. The Builders Incentive Program essentially allows you, if you are building something, to tell us about it. And if you are going to deploy that on Zircuit, we can reward you for it. So between March and now, we received more than 1,000 submissions, which is amazing. That means, that there are more than 1,000 projects or more than 1,000 people who are actually interested in doing something with Zircuit or on Zircuit. Out of those 1,000 projects, 269 of these submissions are actually smart contract projects that are in various stages of development. And out of those, 28 were already deployed, and we have provided them with some incentives. So our incentives are retroactive in nature, but if you have a project and if you put it on Zircuit, we will reward you with some points. Our Builders program is still open, so if you are interested, feel free to go to build.zircuit.com. And the page will guide you, for submitting the project our way. We have community managers, we have moderators, they will reach out to you and we can talk about, what your project is and what we can do for you in general. The other thing that we did earlier this year is our staking program. So again, we opened it roughly at the beginning of March. And very rapidly, we collected a lot of liquidity. This screenshot is taken a few days ago. So right now, our staking program, which is a smart contract on L1 network, it holds roughly $2.7 billion in TVL. So that's a lot of money. If you want to put it into perspective, I have this page from DeFi Llama. So we are somewhere around position 13, somewhere between Binance and just above Compound. Okay, so this is a lot of liquidity. What are we going to do with this? So we are in L2, or we are an L2, right? But our staking currently sits on L1. It is an L1 smart contract. So what we are going to do with all this liquidity is the following. We are going to invite all the users who stake their Ether, which is pre-committed to actually enter Zircuit when mainnet launches. We are going to ask them for a signature, which is their approval that they want actually this Ether to be bridged onto L2, and we are going to migrate it into L2, okay? So just to, again, put it into perspective, this is roughly $2.7 billion. Here are, again, screenshots from DeFi Llama from various chains. So it is going to put us somewhere between Arbitrum and Base, okay? And this is going to be staked liquidity that will become available on Zircuit when the mainnet launches. So before I continue to what we are going to do with this liquidity and how we are going to provide it to the projects, I have to answer this question, right? When mainnet? Everybody keeps asking. Well, here's the deal. Mainnet already exists. We have deployed it earlier this month. The deal with mainnet is that right now it is private. It is open to all the partners that are actually currently building on Zircuit and that want to have their projects deployed for public use when we actually enable the mainnet. So we are in this phase on the left bottom that we call private mainnet, but all the infrastructure is already running. The mainnet is beautiful and it's stable. Soon enough, very, very, very soon. Let's speak order of days, at most weeks, okay? We are going to transition this mainnet into a public mainnet. So during this phase one, this is what we call it internally, we are going to open this mainnet for public use. So we will publish the RPCs that you require to connect. Zircuit is EVM equivalent, so everybody should know, how to do that. You will configure your projects with the RPC connections. You will add it to your MetaMask or other wallet that you are using, and you can start using Zircuit mainnet. However, for the very first few days and weeks in this phase one, we are going to, put down some restrictions on the amount of ETH that we will allow to be bridged to Zircuit. This is just for us to be a little responsible. This is a new project, right? So we don't want to flood it immediately with all the liquidity that we have available. So we are going to stay in some little bit restricted mode for a little bit. So every wallet that will be bridging onto Ether will have some cap of, onto Zircuit will have some cap of, how much ETH it can bridge. And there will be a global cap of how much ETH can be bridged onto the network as well. Along with that, we are going to open some new incentives for the users to actually use Zircuit and get us some more testing data related to the stability of the network. So we are calling that the gas mining campaign, and that's going to come live as well. And as time progresses, it's not going to take too long. Again, let's speak order of weeks, maybe months. We are going to slowly start lifting these caps. So we will gradually be increasing the amount of ETH that can enter Zircuit, and we are going to remove the restrictions of how much ETH per address users will be able to bridge. So this is how we are going to approach launching the mainnet itself. Now, I told you earlier that we have roughly $2.7 billion that is available as liquidity for mainnet, and we have roughly 1,000 projects that are interested in building on Zircuit. 300 of them are already building, and 30 of them or so are already done, right? So what are we going to do with that, and how are we going to connect all of that together? So this is the situation that we want to have on Zircuit, or that we are anticipating of having on Zircuit. On the right side, we will have a whole bunch of projects of various sorts, be it DEXs, be it other DeFi protocols, focused on lending or whatever you want. And on the left side, I have the staking pools, right? We have L1 that will be migrated in terms of liquidity onto L2. So this liquidity that is now pre-committed to enter the DeFi ecosystem on L2 will somehow have to make it in those protocols. And so what we are going to do over there is this. We have created a factory smart contract and individual staking pools that will be dedicated to these individual DeFi protocols. So you will get in touch with us, you will click a button somewhere on that factory project, and it will automatically deploy a very secure staking pool for your specific project. That staking pool will receive the liquidity, from which staking pool then that liquidity will be, entering your specific project. So what we are looking to do is something like this. We on the left side have the L1 staking. We will be migrating when the mainnet is publicly available into L2. Then there will be a whole bunch of individualized staking pools, and the liquidity will be entering those individualized staking pools. We are going to arrange for incentives to be present for the liquidity to, that is sitting in these staking pools, while we give some time for DEXs to actually integrate with this very standard interface so that that liquidity can actually migrate over into the projects themselves. So our goal, speaking in memes, is to do this to you. We are going to throw you in the water. That water will be the liquidity that you will be drowning in. We're going to extend our arm to help you, but we are not going to do that. We're just going to high-five you, and then the rest will be up to you. Depending how well you can swim, this is how well you will be doing. With that, once again, welcome to the Super Demo Day. My name is Martin. I'm from Zircuit. If you like Zircuit, please come build on us, and good luck with everybody's pitches. Thank you.